All right, we've all been there, right? Picture a little stick man version of yourself right now. You're completely buried under an absolute avalanche of paper, sticky notes, and a scrolling to-do list that literally never ends. You try to get organized, you download all the fancy apps, you buy those expensive planners, but somehow you just end up feeling way more overwhelmed. Well, if you've ever felt that very universal pain of an endless task list, welcome. In this explainer, we are going to unpack what I consider the ultimate minimalist antidote to productivity overload. It's called Zen to Dawn, and honestly, it might just change the way you work forever.
So let me ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly here. Are you spending more time organizing your tasks than actually doing them? You see, the research we pulled for this explainer highlights a really fascinating trap. Working on time management is not the same as managing your time. I mean, if you spend 2 hours meticulously color-coding your calendar, sure, it might feel like work, but often it's just procrastination in a productivity costume. Over-engineered productivity systems actually create way more stress and busy work. They just drain the exact mental fuel you need to actually execute your tasks. And this brings us to kind of the core conflict in modern productivity. On the left side, we have getting things done, or GTD. You probably know it, it's the famous system by David Allen. Now, it's a fantastic system, but it has 5 complex phases: capture, clarify, organize, reflect, and engage. The problem with that? Well, it has a massive learning curve. It requires what behavioral experts call a high habit load. Basically, you have to change your entire life overnight. But on the right, we have Leo Babauta's Zen to Done, or ZTD. ZTD was actually created as a direct critique of GTD. It completely strips away the complexity, it focuses on really simple habits adopted strictly one at a time, and it shifts the entire focus away from endless planning and squarely back onto doing.
Okay, so what exactly is it? The crucial point is this. ZTD is a simple, highly action-oriented system. It's specifically designed to organize your life by stripping productivity down to the absolute bare essentials. It actually draws heavily on principles of mindfulness and simplicity to help you achieve a calm, totally stress-free workflow. Instead of a rigid bottom-up system that just bogs you down in minor, unimportant details, ZTD ensures you stay connected to your high-level aspirations, all while maintaining a clear and focused mind.
Now, the absolute beauty of this system is just how incredibly accessible it is to anyone. When we look at the minimal variation of ZTD, it breaks down into just 4 basic sequential steps. First, collect. Just carry a simple notebook and write everything down immediately so you aren't relying on your memory. Second, process. Make really quick decisions on your inbox every single day. You either do it, delegate it, or defer it. Just don't let things pile up. Third, plan. Set your daily priorities. And fourth, do. Focus on completing just one task at a time. It is beautifully, wonderfully simple. But to actually make this work for us, we really need to understand why we usually fail in the first place. So, think about it. Why do complex productivity systems almost always fail? Why do we abandon them after like a single week? Well, the answer, which we actually find in behavioral neuroscience, is the habit load problem. When a system asks you to adopt a massive suite of complex habit changes all at exactly the same time, your brain just gets totally overwhelmed. It's like trying to learn how to juggle while riding a unicycle on your very first day. Your cognitive load spikes, you get totally exhausted, and inevitably, you just revert right back to your old messy habits.
To fix that exact problem, ZTD introduces a golden rule. You absolutely do not adopt the whole system at once. Instead, you pick exactly one habit. On day 1, you start super small. Then, by day 15 of daily practice, you are actively building brand new neural pathways in your brain. Neuroplasticity is finally working in your favor. And by day 30, the habit basically becomes automatic. The neural activity in your basal ganglia actually spikes at the cue and the reward, which literally saves your prefrontal cortex a ton of valuable cognitive energy. Only then, like the next month, do you start your new habit. This slow, incremental approach is the absolute secret to sustainable change.
All right, let's look at the daily MIT method, which is all about mastering your morning workflow.
I really want you to burn this number into your mind. 3. That's it. Under the ZTD system, you are allowed a maximum of 1 to 3 most important tasks, or MITs, each day. Not 20. Not a sprawling, chaotic list of 50 minor chores. Just 1 to 3 MITs. By artificially constraining your list like this, you completely and utterly eliminate decision paralysis. So here are the strict rules of execution for your MITs. First, as we just said, pick 1 to 3 daily tasks. Second, these tasks absolutely must align with your weekly big rocks, those major milestones you really want to hit this week. Third, and this is absolutely vital, guys, you must complete them first thing in the morning. This totally ties into that classic eat that frog productivity concept. You eat the frog, meaning you tackle the absolute hardest, ugliest task before anything else competes for your attention. I'm talking before you check your email, before you open Slack, before your reactive, distracted brain takes over. Doing this creates a massive, massive wave of momentum that basically carries you through the rest of the day.
And while you are busy eating that frog, there is one major non-negotiable rule. Focus on one task at a time. No multitasking allowed, zero. This really reinforces the ZTD do habit. Our sources for this explainer are incredibly clear on this point. Multitasking is a total myth and it absolutely destroys focus. Every single time you switch tasks or quickly check a notification on your phone, you break your flow state. And the data actually shows it can take over 23 minutes just to recover that deep focus once it's been broken. True productivity requires single tasking. So imagine our little step man from earlier putting on a pair of noise-canceling headphones, turning on airplane mode, and just executing. Next up is simplify. It's time to cut the noise so you can find your focus.
Now, I know what you're probably wondering. What happens to all the other stuff? The endless requests, the low-value emails, the minor chores around the house. Well, if you don't aggressively filter your incoming tasks, you'll just end up with a bloated, completely unmanageable list that causes systemic overload all over again. The crucial point here is knowing exactly how to simplify. It starts with ruthless elimination. Look at your projects and just eliminate the non-essential ones. Actually, scratch that. Don't just look, cut them out. Next, switch your default answer from yes to no. Every single commitment needs to earn its spot on your calendar. Third, reduce your information stream so you aren't constantly being bombarded by inputs all day long. And finally, for the minor things you absolutely have to do, batch them. Answer all your emails in one 30-minute block in the afternoon when your energy is a bit lower, rather than letting them interrupt your precious morning MITs.
Which finally brings us to habit 10, the ultimate motivation, which is all about aligning tasks with your true drive. Guys, this right here is the ultimate secret to literally never procrastinating again. Seriously, because all the organization in the world won't help you if you deeply fundamentally hate what you are doing. ZTD goes way beyond just managing tasks. It actually asks you to look at the why behind them. As Leo Babauta beautifully puts it, make your life's work something you're passionate about, and your task list will almost seem like a list of rewards. Now, this isn't just some fluffy motivational quote. It's heavily grounded in neuroscience. When you align your tasks with your own intrinsic values and passions, you actively light up the brain's reward pathways. It utilizes something called dopamine anchoring. When you simplify your commitments and only pursue what genuinely matters to you, all that heavy friction of procrastination just completely melts away. Your work actually transforms from a grueling, awful chore into an automatic reward. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. What is the one habit you will start changing today? Remember the golden rule. Please do not try to adopt the whole system right now. Will you start carrying a little notebook to master the collect habit? Will you commit to setting 1 to 3 MITs tomorrow morning? Or maybe you'll just focus on turning off your phone to practice the do habit. Just pick one. Give it 30 days, let your brain wire it in. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, here's to mastering your productivity one simple habit at a time.